And now, our feature presentation.
Scarfy.
I'm Naka.
And I'm the birthday boy! Not yet, I'm Krüz.
And welcome to Sabaton for Entertainment, a determinedly drunk, geeky, and showful podcast where we'll be house and extremely entertaining, bringing you all latest entertainment news. Sets a lot of community appreciation class to talk about what's going on in certain topics and see how people react to them in certain ways. And that song that you were listening to was Rivers in the Desert by Lynn in the Persona 5 soundtrack. We decided to use this song because, yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory as to what went on this week. So,
It's been a week.
It's been a week, and we've been gone for so long. We were supposed to come back last week actually, but I realized, we don't have that much content to talk about, so we're going to postpone it for another week, and we did. So we're back here today, and we are episode 97, I believe. Wow.
Yep, 97.
So close.
And
97 indeed. So our holidays have been interesting, to say the least.
And I have some quick bad news to report. Due to the audio shenanigans earlier, I had our intro for the VOD is going to be a little screwy,
right.
But we're normal now. Sometimes things break in the intro, but we're good now.
Apparently so. So at least we got all that taken care of, and just, it's just one of those things where it's like, hey, Robert, how's it going?
It's just one of those
Shutter, Kyle, how is everything going? Krüz, how is everything going? Naka, how's everything going? All right, cool. We're gonna go ahead and just go ahead and do our usual commercial, I guess you could say, advertisement thing. It's not advertisement, but you know what you guys know what it all is. So has been brought to you by Streamlabs. We are a non-profit podcast, but we use this as our go-to for making more episodes and helping be bigger and better than ever before by purchasing equipment or other visual means. Please don't feel obligated. We are not asking for money to pay the rent, but if you have the heart to donate, it is greatly appreciated. So, I think it's I don't even know what to say. Like, I guess it's about time to finally get to what needs to be discussed, is it, Naka?
Yeah. Yes, I'm getting this.
I think you're safe. It's hard to say what hasn't already been said, and like right now people are just dealing with fallout, and if you can't guess, you probably haven't flicked on the TV or gone online the past few days.
All right, so I have what Scarfy is about to talk about queued up. It is a pre-recorded audio file, so we need to talk about something serious here, or Scarfy does. So I'm going to count down. On the count of 3, I will play the file, and I will mute my audio channel and the Discord audio channel, which is where you're hearing Krüz and Scarfy from. So, 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, everyone. This is Scarfy from Sabaton for Entertainment. And before we begin the show, there's something that we need to address that we cannot find in our minds nor in our hearts necessary to pretend that it doesn't exist. Let's make something very clear. We are not a political podcast. We are an entertainment podcast. The only time we ever even remotely discuss politics or bring up keywords such as Democrat or Republican is if it's something that we're looking at a piece of media, or if it's something that has happened in our history that has affected everyone in the U.S. to some degree that is way too difficult for us to ignore. With this case, it is the latter. We do not like talking about it just as much as you do. You come to hear our voices, to hear what we have to say on current entertainment, music, video games, films, and other forms of media that we like to give our thoughts on. Unfortunately, we have to talk about something that has transpired this week that is still fresh in our memories. On January 6, 2021, at 2:15 p.m. Eastern, rioters that appeared the day before ranging from Proud Boys, QAnon, and other predominantly white supremacist and extremist groups began storming the U.S. Capitol in an attempt to subdue and stop the words of the vote currently spoken by the American people on November 3rd for the presidency and vice presidency of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, while the House and Senate was currently debating whether or not Arizona's electoral votes were fraudulent. A claim amongst others from other states that for 2 months after the results were called, our president had consistently and exhaustively disturbed the peace over and over, making false statements, stating that the election was rigged. The police were frantic to control and quell the number of rioters who roamed around the building, infiltrated officers of senators and representatives, smashed through windows, destroying property in those offices, stealing vital information, carrying deadly weapons and improvised explosives, taking pictures, invading the Senate chamber, causing the remaining news reporters and journalists from above in the gallery to duck down to avoid possible injuries from the terrorists, while House members and security barricaded the door to the House chamber with guns drawn to prevent entry. This event ended with over 80 arrests, many police injured, and 5 people, including a police officer, killed who participated in these acts. Pathetic and despicable acts of terror to insurrect our current government before the inauguration on January 20th, and an attempt to try and force a coup on our United States. President-elect Biden later spoke asking for President Trump to ask them to stand down, and when he responded, urging his supporters with a video and a tweet, which has since been deleted. These are the things and events that happen when a sacred landslide election victory is so unceremoniously and viciously stripped away from great patriots who have been badly and unfairly treated for so long. Go home with love and peace. Remember this day forever, which only contributed to these events rather than to diminish it, having little, if any, effect on the ongoing protesters who are not able to hear or see the words spoken, saying, "We love you, you're very special." And it wasn't until a few hours later where the National Guard had finally stepped in to eventually barricade the premises of the Capitol, an event that some even counted on happening to this day. But unfortunately, it doesn't stop there. This act of terrorism inspired other groups in other cities and states to do the same, smashing various properties, while more arrests were accumulated. Later in the day, finishing late in the middle of the night with tiresome debates of objections brought for the certifying states of Arizona and Pennsylvania, and exhaustive representatives and senators, the Capitol completed their work, certifying Biden and Harris as president and vice president. Thus, closing the chapter on one of the darkest points in American history in terms of presidency these past 4 years, and the final straw that attempted to break American democracy. As I watched on C-SPAN that entire night, hearing the prayer done by Senate Chaplain Barry Black, I cried. Our work of resisting this president, who for so long tried to pass bills and laws to undermine the American people, has finally paid off. And all we have to do now is play the waiting game. I want to say something that has me very much intrigued, but at the same time shaking my head. I guess what hurts me the most seeing this act is that the police were lenient and not as threatening, which some had allowed protesters to enter the building since the majority of protesters were white, compared to protesters of BLM who stood up when George Floyd was killed by a police officer, where the police were larger in number, fired more bullets and tear gas at protesters who were predominantly black and people of color, and paints a picture in our mentalities of what police are currently like, if it hasn't already done so, where white people are treated with white privilege, while black and people of color are treated differently just for so much as breathing wrong. And I also want to address something that most people need to hear. Lately, we've been hearing phrases like, "this isn't who we are," and to some extent, that is true. However, after adding the results of electing a white supremacist in between the first black president and first black woman vice president, as well as the various problems that have enabled people to act the way they do, if the storming of the Senate isn't proof of that, the fact is that all of this put together is kind of who we are. We're the country that did all those things, and while you may not be personally responsible for any of what has happened, we are responsible as a country for what has happened, and we cannot and should not ignore that like we have ignored history time and time again. Words cannot express the level of frustration and pain we feel towards this event that is now forever etched in American history. Several White House chiefs have resigned. Many countries are appalled by the behavior that our U.S. has exhibited for all the world to see, and President Trump's days are dwindling down soon, with him recently just losing his Twitter account and various other media platforms to echo his tired, exhaustive, and very evil voice. Despite Congress trying to invoke Amendment 25 for impeachment, he has obstructed democracy, he has brought the country to its knees, and he has made it very clear that he has no intention of leaving quietly, while trying to stain our current Congress after we have claimed the House, the presidency, and now, just recently, the Senate after the results of this week in Georgia. And he has failed. And while he may not leave quietly, we, on the other hand, after, will not enter quietly. We will celebrate our victories, and we will celebrate what we have accomplished. I understand that most of you were looking forward to this new year after the shit show we had of 2020, and I can only assume in your heads that 2021 is off to a quote-unquote great start. However, I should remind you that we are only 10 out of 365 days of the current new year of 2021, where possibilities are endless, and we shouldn't let this one day define and determine the entire year of things we still need to fight for. And while we may have hoped and wished for a better new year, keep in mind, we're by no means out of the woods yet with the pandemic, the economic problems of work and housing, and the days to come we have to wait in order for President-elect to take office. We must not be deterred or frightened by a group of people who act in a stupidly foolish manner, especially run by a corrupt president who try to uphold what the people have rightfully spoken. We here at Subwoofer condemned what has taken place, and we know of your pain, embarrassment, sorrow, disappointment, and shame. We share it. That day will not be forgotten, but we will continue on where a beacon of light is in our sights as we move forward as a country and as a people, as one. Thank you.
All right. So, yes, we're back. It's the three of us again.
Okay.
Yeah, I know this isn't how our show usually goes, but we simply cannot ignore what happened on, what was it, Wednesday?
January 6th, yes.
January 6th. Days kind of bleed together for me, so...
That's that kind of an effect, a lingering effect of 2020. You can know the number of the day, but not what day of the week it was.
Yeah, but...
So, do you guys have any thoughts about the statement that was read?
I mean, I don't usually think in the first place, but you did bring up, it's kind of echoing what other people are saying, but we can't ignore this shit. I mean,
we can't.
That was a coup. That was an attempted coup from thousands and thousands of domestic terrorists. Call them what these people are. And as much as, I think this show should not be political, I think we can all agree that the people who raided the Capitol and walked out with things like the podium of the Speaker of the House, the guy kicking up his feet on Nancy Pelosi's desk, they need to be punished. So much so that people who have been tagged by the FBI have been put on a no-fly list.
It's beautiful. It's great. At least that's how I feel. But this is what happens when you try to overthrow the government, and
this is what happens when you try and overthrow democracy.
Yes. So, I think that those punishments are very, very fair. You reap what you sow. You've heard of this phrase before. You reap what you sow. So, I think that things will get better. I think that, again, we're only 10 days out of the 365 days of this new year. We can't let this one day define what's going to happen for the rest of 2021. We can't do that. We can't. So I think it's best that we move forward and that we put ourselves, into this year, keep ourselves productive, keep ourselves busy, making sure that we check up on people, love each other, be peaceful with one another. It was hard. it was really hard writing the statement because I was watching C-SPAN that entire night, just waiting for the Congress to finish their work, wondering what was going to happen. And, you know, a lot of people say we kind of, I don't want to say I told you so, but
I fucking told us so.
Yeah, so
well, now that that's done, we should go ahead and
Cannonball!
into our main show.
Yes, go ahead. Yeah.
If you are wondering, real quick before we get into our actual show, I have figured out a way to play SoundPad from Steam while having it not connected to the internet.
Oh, wonderful.
So, but I'm still kind of figuring out some audio stuff. If I wanted to, I could play it through the Yeti microphone, but right now I have it set up through my headset microphone, so it's a simple and easy change that I can do. Actually, I can kind of demonstrate it right now because... Actually, no, I can't. I'd have to restart WinAudio. That'd mess with all our audio settings on OBS. I'll figure it out. But when in doubt...
Hello, Gordon.
I couldn't think of something, so I just pressed a button. Let's get on to our main show with Krüz with music.
Krüz, go.
Well, before any of what we just discussed had happened, we lost metal icon in Alexi Laiho, frontman of Children of Bodom, a melodic death metal band from Finland. At the age of 41, so far what we've learned is that he had a number of health issues over the years. It didn't disclose exactly what those were, but the point of the matter is he is unfortunately no longer with us. No date was officially given of his death, but the news was released on January 4th. That's what I say before. And I wrote this bit on that day, and already Loudwire had found a great number of tribute posts from bands and band members regarding Alexi, among them coming from Alex Skolnick and Steve DiGiorgio of Testament, Sebastian Bach, formerly of Skid Row and solo, Floor Jansen from Nightwish, Matt Heafy from Trivium, and Mille Petroza from Creator, and many others. And they've just been pouring in from YouTubers like from Herman Lee, Dragon Force, from Six Samus, and other people. What I wanted to say was rest in peace and shred the fucking heavens, because, man, it really, looking back on, I just got to Children of Bodom with Hexed, and that, you ever think about it, but that might have been their last album as a band. Depends on what they decide to do from now on, but point of the matter is still grieving, and I hope there's good news in their future, that if the band does not itself continue, then the members could find success in their own right. Yeah, this was really shocking news because there was no announcement of anything beforehand. We didn't know exactly what was happening with his health, and
it's like Neil Peart with Rush.
Yeah, sometimes death is unexpected, or it was just really cool, I think, above all, to see that. So already, like, the day that the news broke, like hours after it broke, so many people, both metal artists and fans had already reached out, and like they're like posting pictures of like them hanging out with Alexi, or what they thought of Alexi. That's just really cool to see. Like, that also solidifies that metal in itself is a brotherhood. It's a family, and that you've got each other's backs, and it's hard to lose someone who is so influential to so many bands. Trivium, Matt Heafy of Trivium said, if we didn't have Children of Bodom, Trivium probably wouldn't be here. So a lot of people owe their influence to this guy in the melodic, insane way that he plays guitar. Livewire also posted a non-monetized video of just moments from his career, and I do recommend watching it. It's uplifting, just to see him, how skilled he was, but also to see some fun moments that he was talking about. He was talking about how on the tour bus how someone threw a coin at his face, and he said it in Finnish, some clown threw a coin at my face, and then he said, "Let's get the fuck out of here, man." Yeah, that's that bit of news. Unfortunately, to start off with a downer, but I think the fact that he's only 41 and left this, was this impactful. Clearly, he made the most of the time he had. Very clearly.
I see what I see. I never listened to this person. I'm a little upset that he did, in fact, lose his life. But now that I heard, but apparently, Children of Bodom is a very, very Bodom. Children of Bodom, yes. I heard that Children of Bodom is a very, very interesting metal band because most people like it. I haven't heard of any of their music, so I wouldn't be able to say whether or not they were good. But I am very, very glad that we did get to, get to know who he was and get to know what he has done with his life for the little time that he had. And that's really all I have to say regarding him.
I mean, Scarfy pretty much said the same. I think the first time I had heard of the band Bodom was from a Let's Play that's 10 years old at this point. He's like, well, I'm not the one, it's a co-com Let's Play, and it's like, well, I'm not the one wearing the Bodom t-shirt, but I'm not saying that's a bad thing. No, I think we can both agree that Bodom is awesome, and I still have not yet listened to any of Bodom, so it's been 10 years, goddammit, how have I not done that?
Yeah, I've gone back to listen to some of the popular songs, mostly their covers of Iron Maiden, and of Aces High and Slayer's Silent Scream. Then, of course, they got into them listening to the album Hexed, which I thought was really good. But what was I going to say? I was going to say something to the effect of, him being... It makes you appreciate... Yeah, I found it again. Found my head. It makes you appreciate, him passing away. It makes you appreciate just how much these bands impact not only other artists, but people, their fans. It's not an exaggeration for people to say, this band saved my life or something. This wasn't the story for me, but a lot of people, say they grew up with the band, and that means a lot to them. So it really makes you go back and appreciate what you had. However, there is some good news coming from Finland this week.
I have a soundbite. You won't be able to hear it, but the stream will. But
Great news! What?
I played great news. What? So let's go ahead and move into our next thing.
Yeah. Antti Martikainen. So this motherfucking guy. There's good news from Finland. Look at this dude. Sonic Savior. This release popped up after we had wrapped up S.E.T for 2020. But the good news is that means this release is available now in its entirety. The Finnish composer Antti Martikainen has put forth even more epic music and symphonic metal. I forgot to take out a word. A symphonic metal instrumental album that's, epic. Antti has been known for Oh, I read that wrong. Antti has been known to make epic soundtracks ranging from orchestral arrangements, folk music in various styles, such as Celtic, Nordic, Asian, etc., folk metal, symphonic metal, like this, and even more. And I think that, especially the orchestral arrangements, Scarfy might enjoy. I just think that this guy's like very well-rounded artist because he knows how to hit all the notes of like how to make something not just like metal and awesome, but to make it just overall an epic song and an epic album here. The last album that I listened to, the full album, was Northern Steel, which is a combination of like folk metal from like Celtic and Nordic influence. I've listened to some other songs. I was listening to I don't know if I'm butchering the name because it's Gaelic, but Brocheliand, which is apparently in reference to like Merlin and like those original stories. Very good. Man, I was just so happy when I saw this, and like this is part of my daily commute playlist, especially Maverick from this album. It's the synth solo on Maverick is just insane. I can't say enough good things about Antti Martikainen, and I think that fans of Children of Bodom would like this as well, being in a similar vein, maybe slightly less aggressive and more melodic, but this guy just continues to put out amazing music. I think the link that I put is actually an overview. So it has clips from each song. It doesn't have the whole album in of itself. If you just want to get a feel for each of the songs, it has a rundown of each of them. It plays like a minute or so of each track. And I recommend listening to the whole thing because some of the songs are pretty long. But yeah, this... Wow. If only this came out earlier, it could have been on the top 2020 list, but so be it. The good news is that we have it now.
Table slam.
I just put down my bottle opener. I got it from a beer shop where you get rewarded for checking into beer. It's called the Black Dog Beer Shop.
Well then.
Oh, wonderful. Anyway, regarding the album, it looks like a really nice album. I like the cover art a lot. I think that's... I didn't get the chance to listen to them, sadly, because I just looked at it and I'm like, this goes on for 10 minutes. I'm like, do I really want to watch? Do I really want to look at it for 10 minutes? Because I have other things that I have other videos that I need to watch, but I don't know.
It's okay to not have to listen to the whole thing. I mean, just listen to like one of the songs. I'm looking at the I had to look up now what the times for the songs are. So we have about 7 minutes, 6 minutes, 7.5, 6.5, 6, 6.5, 4.5, 7.5, 5.5, 6, 6, and 10. So yeah, it's
why do I
some
feel like
long
it's gonna be a
songs.
dance album for some reason? I don't know.
I don't know if I bet though if Antti made a dance album, he'd probably be able to do a kick-ass job of that too, just because everything he touches turns to gold. Audio.
Anyway,
gold.
Naka.
I am a sucker for symphonic and melodic metal, so I have not heard of this. Let's see. You said this guy's a solo guy, or it's a solo composer, but there's like an orchestra and stuff, or other people performing with him.
Yeah, how I believe it works. He writes the music, and on some of the videos he does, it lists like who is playing what instruments, and he brings in different people because obviously, like with folk music, you're going to need to play a lot of different instruments, some esoteric ones. But yeah, I don't know if he actually plays the guitar in itself, but I imagine he probably does just for writing purposes. Probably plays a lot of instruments, but yeah, it's called Antti Martikainen because he makes the music. But yes, he does have a orchestra and people who play with him.
Man, I'm disappointed.
Yeah, there's not.
I'm disappointed in myself. I don't have a Finland soundboard on my soundboard.
Yeah,
So,
this is Finland week.
So
You'll
I'm just gonna
you'll
go.
have to download it, definitely.
I'm just gonna go with the next best thing. But we need to.
Percolate.
I'm too mean to die.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this album release is being delayed and will now be released on January 29th due to a COVID-related plant closure, according to the label Nuclear Blast, presumably referring to the distribution of physical CDs and vinyl and merch and stuff like that, but they didn't say exactly, but, you know, we're used to shit being delayed at this point. However, because the album was supposed to be the band has decided to make the wait a little bit easier and release a video for Zombie Apocalypse on January 15th when the album would have been released. And the song trailer is linked. It's about like a 30-second clip of it. Sounds pretty good, even if it is presumably looking like it's in reference to like millennials on their phones and shit. Which I kind of feel like, personally, it's just been overdone. But I figure Accept could find a way to make it sound more badass than any other band could right now.
Yeah, I took a look at this. I wish there was more for me to go off of because the video for this was actually really short, but I mean, I'm glad that it's
this is a teaser trailer. We're not getting the video until the 15th. We'll see what that holds. Probably the new song will drop on whatever media streaming services and shit.
Indeed. Naka, anything you want to say regarding this?
I mean, it is unfortunate that there has to be a bit of a delay in releasing everything, but it's they want to release everything at once, which I think is it's kind of smart. But why don't they just release the stuff digitally? Then no one's gonna buy the physical shit. No one's gonna buy the CD or nobody's gonna buy the vinyl. So deal with it.
Especially with metalheads. You're gonna.
Well, it's more so the fact that music is really unaffected when it comes to the pandemic, and not everyone, people want to say, I guess they want to make sure that people are getting their physical copy before getting their digital copy. Yeah. Because digital copy, all you have to do is, shut up and take my money and then download the rest. And then the rest takes care of itself.
You don't have to take the money, you just have to push a button.
Actually, yeah, you just have to push a button because Spotify exists.
Technically, but
you don't have to do anything.
Well, people prefer having the music on hand and owning it, but that's just
I mean, that's me.
Some people are old school like that.
I prefer physical media.
Yeah, I mean, I do too. So,
the bit about like physical stuff, I think that I was gonna say, especially with metalheads and like rock fans, especially like I don't want to say like older generation because like other people will collect stuff too, but they want to just collect vinyls just because it's cool to have them, to own a physical piece of the album, even though vinyl it's a bygone era that's still alive though. Got a nice voice crack. When you say like music is relatively unaffected, the only part where that's not true, obviously, I mean, live shows are not a thing, but that's we already knew that. The other thing was like how artists can work on albums, whether they're able to do it remotely. Because what happened with Blue Oyster Cult is that they worked on most of the album together, and then the pandemic struck, and then they had to finish it remotely, which they were able to do. So it depends on how each band adapts with how they want to make music, how they want to write music, if they want to all be together, or if they're able to just send their files to each other, edit them, all that shit. So now, the electric snake will be... I do love the electric, snake design. Just an overall great album cover. We don't have an album cover for the final bit, but And apologies that the picture was so dark. That's the only thing I could really find, because that's the YouTube thumbnail. Sabaton has teased new music. Oh boy, have I been waiting for this.
How long have you been waiting for?
Since April 2019. But
Oops.
yeah, I don't know. So that's when the Great War came out. So Sabaton decided to do like, I think they did like a bunch of giveaways and stuff for like the 25 days Christmas, stuff like that. This, you see the date, December 23rd is when this dropped. The band, after they had stated that work had begun on new music, speculations of the topics emerged, such as the much requested Christmas truce of 1914, but that remains to be seen. For Christmas, Sabaton released a preview of a new song that is, we don't know the name of, but it's, according to the helpful comment section, is about the S.E.T lifeguards, which according to, I wrote helpful comments after that. S.E.T lifeguards was Sweden's first infantry regiment serving under Gustav Vasa, the, quote, founding father, essentially, of the Swedish state. Sounds just as bombastic and epic as I had hoped, and I look forward to the new album. Being about Swedish history, which they've really only done on Carolus Rex, aside from, if you want to count, Swedish pagans. So I don't know if it's going to be a mixed bag, if it's going to be a new concept album, or if it's going to be like a sequel to Carolus Rex. We don't know, but I think that they're probably going to not have a sequel to Carolus Rex because, you know, they don't need one, but they could do more Swedish history. Sure, that's great. But my God, just 30 seconds of this song and the end of it. Indeed of Krieg. Like, oh my God, I need this now. That's it.
There's not much for me to say regarding this trailer. Again, it's a teaser. It barely gave me any information, but hey, I'm glad that you're getting your new Sabaton album that you really, really wanted, Krüz.
Yeah. And Sabaton has done a great job of like marketing it because, which the thing that's still going on, well, they concluded Sabaton history on YouTube. They've done all their songs. They've done even sequels to some of the songs. They did offshoot episodes. There's still going to be a channel. They're not going away. They're not unis honestly it. But they're I guess they're taking suggestions and other things right now. They're going to talk about the new songs and what they did for the Great War, which is around the time that the channel started before the album was being released. They did the history episodes about some of the songs in the album before the album was released to kind of like continue to hype it up. And I think that that's the work of Per, the bassist. He's done an amazing job because he's essentially the band's manager also, which is really cool. I think they've just done an amazing job. They collaborated with Apocalyptica to make a follow-up to Angel's Calling. And I know Scarfy probably would like Apocalyptica being the 4-cello metal band. They also since released an animated. Well, they also did a Lego stop-motion video for the Future of Warfare, which was really unique. They did an animated story video for Night Witches, and they also recently released a story animation music video for No Bullets Fly, which, if you have not heard the story of Charlie Brown and Franz Stegler, with the bomber with my personal favorite name of any aircraft, Ye Old Pub, it's a really nice story too, of humanity and honor and war. But
anything you want to? Were you going to say anything regarding this piece of music, Naka?
I mean, I'm in the mood for more Sabaton, and you may have noticed my audio has changed in quality because I am using the headset microphone, but only for this bit because while this is the end of music this week, at the bottom of Krüz's thing, one last thing. Krüz's birthday is in 3 days, so...
Happy birthday! Here's your present! You're welcome.
Yeah. Oh, by the way,
But that is it for music. Give me one moment while I switch everything back over on Discord.
so fun fact. Did you know that Totori was in the Masked Singer Suomi and he actually won? the guy from
Masked Singer of
Nightwish
Finland?
actually, yes, he actually won.
Like Troy?
Totori, yeah.
I thought his name was Troy, but that's cool. I didn't know there were other. I didn't know fit. I'm dying. I didn't know that they had it, but that's very cool. If it's the God, why I thought his name was Troy.
Can I go now?
Yes, you may go.
So, quick thing before we get into our next segment. So, if you are active on Twitch like I am, well, I don't stream. I should stream.
You may
there
have
more
noticed
often.
something.
Nice.
Well, it's been known for a while that the guy who's the origin of the emote PogChamp, Gutex, he is very much a chud. He's very much an anti-masker, a very staunch person with radical beliefs, who on January 6th decided to post video of one of the people who was fatally shot and killed in the Capitol onto his Twitter. And Twitch was like, okay, we've had enough of your bullshit. We are removing PogChamp from the site. And they listed out
just the sticker, but not the actual
Gutex PogChamp.
Yeah.
They clarified in their statement that any other variation of Pog and Poggers, like custom, like people's own like sub emotes that are, their channel Pog or their channel Poggers, or if you're using Better Twitch TV and Frankerface Z, which are Twitch extensions to have custom emotes, even if you don't have partnership, those Pog emotes would stay. And people thought of the idea, well, hey, let's make all these other people the new faces of Pog and PogChamp. Well, right now, what Twitch is doing is every 24 hours on the site, there's a new PogChamp emote. It's still the same as just PogChamp, the way it's written on the screen right now, but it's somebody else's face every time, which I think is pretty cool. It's allowing other streamers to get kind of broadcasted.
When did Pog become a thing anyway?
I don't know. It's like one of the founding emotes on Twitch. It's up there with like Kappa and Franker Z and PJ Salt. But that's about it on that. But I move into video games. Hey all, Scott here. Say, you want to know how I can make more money? By re-releasing the first 5 of my games on the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One on January 12th, even though they've already been released on the systems before. I mean,
but this time they're together.
I mean, when you've made millions and millions and millions of dollars off of your smash hit series, produced a few novels in one series, a 9-book short story series, Funko Pops, a film in production, and fun fan games of Five Nights at Freddy's, may as well shove it onto what can give you money to do what you want to do, Scott.
Well, I mean,
there's not much to say. It's Five Nights at Freddy's again.
And a disclaimer for anyone who's looking at the trailer. It is simply the sister location trailer. We couldn't find like an actual trailer where they have all these connections where they have the entire collection. They don't like doing it. They just don't like doing it. I don't get it. It's like, what can I say?
It's basically, I'm going onto YouTube and I'm trying to find everything, and then I try and find one, it's the wrong one, and it's just
I gotta rock up my butt.
But let's move on to something that's probably actually worthwhile and worth talking
There's
about.
one last thing to add to that.
Something is it the bite of 87?
Was that the bite of 87?
I was right.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
But we must
That was the bite of 87.
We must move on to Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game, complete edition.
Awesome.
This is a re-release with semi-revamped graphics, revamped soundtrack, and all the DLC. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game, will be re-releasing on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, Windows, and Google Stadia on January 14th, after it being removed from PlayStation Network and Xbox Live Arcade on December 30th of 2014, most likely due to licensing issues. Loosely following the story of the graphic novels, up to 4 players can play as Scott Pilgrim, Ramona Flowers, Kim Pine, or Stephen Stills, along with the unlockable character Nega Scott and the downloadable characters Knives Chow and Wallace Wells, who must battle through 7 levels in order to defeat Ramona's 7 evil exes. Don't you mean ex-boyfriends? No, I mean exes. I watched the movie a couple months ago. Again.
I love that movie. Like, one of my favorite lines that one of the exes says to Knives Chow is when he goes, "Listen, Kung Pao chicken." I don't know why. It makes me funny. It makes me laugh.
Even though it's a funny joke you shouldn't say nowadays.
It makes me do the funny. Yeah, the movie is the only reference I have as of now to the Scott Pilgrim world.
Chris Evans is a skate dick in the movie, because this was before he became super popular as Captain America.
Right, he was in the movie.
He was in the movie, actually, yeah, continue.
Characters have their own individual movesets, which can be expanded upon by gaining enough experience, and are also able to use weapons. Excuse me. Each player has heart points and guts points, which can revive players if they are knocked out, or be used to perform special moves such as summoning Knives Chow, or the unlockable assist character Mr. Chow. Defeating enemies earns coins, which can be spent at shops to purchase items that can replenish health or boost stats. Certain items can be taken to go and automatically used when the player runs out of health. Players can also enter subspace areas, which act as bonus areas where extra coins can be earned. Think of the secret pipe in 1-1 in Super Mario Brothers. During cooperative players can revive fallen comrades at the cost of some money, give each other health or money, and simultaneously taunt for a combined attack. Various cheat codes, yes, because remember cheat codes in video games.
Yes.
Extra features such as a sound test, a boss rush, and a survival horror mode. This is a very well-liked game with a deserving re-release on January 14th for the platforms I mentioned. And if you're looking for a physical copy, look at Limited Run Games. They are doing a PS4 and Nintendo Switch physical release for, I believe. I haven't bought anything from Limited Run Games, but I don't know if it's they continually produce these or if they're just like they have a set amount and once they're gone, they're gone. I don't know how they work.
Magnets. How the fuck do they work?
So breaking news, Little Karibo just uploaded his next episode of Wygotos after 5 months of disappearing. So yeah, I guess what I'm doing as soon as we're done with the show.
Bad news for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Believe Pittsburgh just threw a pick 6.
No. Okay.
There's been 14 seconds in the game. You have time. Calm down.
All right. Anyway,
All right. But
I'm sorry, but the play says Roethlisberger aborted. I hope that's not true.
Anyway, you were saying,
but that's actually all for video games this week. Kind of an off week, but I want to briefly talk about some of the stuff I've got in the Steam Winter Sale. Let's see. I got Tower Unite because I wanted to get that for the mini golf aspect, but it turns out it's this was kind of like VR chat before VR chat came around, and it's easier to run than VR chat. I picked up Art of Rally. I picked up Polybridge 2. And I also picked up A Hat in Time because I've been wanting to get into that game for a long time. And I'm finally getting around to it because I'm stupid. But that's what I got in the Steam Winter Sale. I also picked up Clubhouse 51 games for Switch, along with Burnout Paradise Remastered, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered on the Switch. Let's see, I also got Over the Top Tower Defense by SMG Studios, and I got Super Mario 3D All-Stars as a gift for the Nintendo Switch. That is all for this week.
I got that as well.
I'll tell you the games that I got for Nintendo Switch. I got Octopath Traveler, Ori and the Blind Forest from our lovely Krüz, which I've already discussed. I got a PS4 game called Star Wars Squadrons. From a friend of mine, very very dear friend of mine. I actually want to give it a try out, and then I actually ended up finishing Final Fantasy IX, playing the game, and now I'm currently playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And I'm playing it alongside Chugga Conroy, as soon as he gets done with stuff. So, I'm playing it alongside him. So, that's. I wish there were more for video games. So, I guess we're moving on to movies.
We're moving on to The Marksman.
Oh God. Okay. All right. Let me be frank, folks.
Why you gotta be a hater?
It's not that I'm a hater. It's just I am personally not a fan of these movies coming out this week, but we might as well just get through them. Well, it's time for another Neeson action film, because Lord knows we don't have enough of those. The Marksman is an upcoming American action thriller film directed by Robert Lorenz and starring Liam Neeson. A rancher on the Arizona border becomes the unlikely defender of a young Mexican boy desperately fleeing the cartel assassins who pursued him into the U.S. after losing his mother. And that's about it. There's not much going with this film, guys. It's about it as overly cliche as you can imagine. It stars freaking Liam Neeson. That's all he's good for nowadays. Making live action films and making money off those films. I mean, hey, he's at least good as what he does. It's just I get tired of seeing him in these roles. I want him to be in a different role for once. I wish that he did different stuff, but that's all he seems to be good for now. However, if you are interested, the film releases on January 15th, but that is all I have to say. Naka, Krüz.
It's generic. It's generically.
I think that the other thing is that we don't have enough of the Liam Neeson films, because beyond Taken, they're like the last one I can remember. I forget the name of it, but there was where he was suspected of being a terrorist on a plane, and then one before that was Unknown, where he somehow or someone gets amnesia and something. It's like I couldn't remember what the fuck happened, but I remember I enjoyed it. And beyond Taken, it's like you can't remember the plot. It's like, because that's what action movies are. It's like, damn the plot, let's see shit blow up, and epic car chases and shooties and bang bangs and all that. It does look a little bit flat, but they present it in a way that looks appealing to me, at least. I don't think the movie would be super great, but at least see Liam Neeson tell someone off on with I don't know what kind of rifle it was in his hand, just it's like, y'all best get on home now. Not in that accent.
Again.
Yeah, Liam Neeson just doing Liam Neeson things.
So I guess we're moving on.
Yep, we are moving on to The Dig.
Well, it's time for another film where we will see how it does. The Dig is an upcoming drama film directed by Simon Stone. Is your father watching the Steelers game?
I'm not sure if he's watching the Steelers game or if there's college basketball or something. I don't know. I'm not paying attention.
I love how you just did a 180 on that. Is your father?
I'm sorry. It's just, if he is, how dare he root against my team? That's all I'm going to say, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, we're moving on to The Dig.
I mean, this is the team that cheated their way into Super Bowl 40.
Shut up.
The refs actually blew the game for the Seahawks.
Shut up. Go away. Am I dead yet? The film directed by Simon Stone, based on the 2007 novel the same name by John Preston. It stars Carey Mulligan, Ralph Fiennes, Lily James, Johnny Flynn, Ben Chaplin, Ken Scott, Archie Barnes, and Monica Dolan. As World War II looms, a wealthy widow hires an amateur archaeologist to excavate the burial mounds on her estate. Much to their surprise, they have excavated the Sutton Hoo ship burial. When they make a historic discovery, the echoes of Britain's past resonate in the face of its uncertain future. There's unfortunately, again, not much to say regarding this film. There's just not much to talk about, despite the film starring some A-list actors. Maybe it will get the historical fans in, but but there's something missing from this particular trailer for this film, and I can't quite put my figure on it. Oh yeah, what is it? Intrigue. They're missing intrigue, in my opinion. However, if you're interested, the film will have a limited release in theaters on January 15th and will also be releasing on Netflix on January 29th. So, is your yeah, we should make that a sound clip. I don't know. Anyway, Naka Krüz, what do you have to
say? Am I dead yet?
Yeah, that's what gets me is like the sudden change in tone. I didn't expect that from you, but the dig, it's kind of one of those movies that it has it's mentioning it's taking place. I just looked up Sutton Hoo and said that it was being explored starting in 1939, which World War II is pretty looming at that point. It's I don't know, historical, and I enjoy that. It looks, I think, above all, what really struck me is like the costume design, like from the beginning frame of the trailer. Like, I love the outfits and everything. That's just a weird thing to be fixated on, but I love it. It makes it look legit. I don't know much like how the story's gonna help in like being a drama, but I'm not sure what to think about this, but I do have Netflix, so I could check it out at some point. Might do that in my downtime.
I mean, I really don't have much to say, and it's just like,
hello, Shadow Pull.
Shout out.
That's.
I mean, you're on the screen. There you go.
Yeah, so anyway.
Look, Mom, I'm on TV!
Normally I'm just like, nope. But you're on the screen. If people want to check you out, there you go. They can Google you. Or maybe they just go outside the wire and they're just like, what's Google?
Alright, now for probably the most interesting out of all the trailers given to us. It's time to take a look at Outside the Wire, an upcoming American science fiction film directed by Mikhail Hafstrom. It stars Anthony Mackie, Damson Idris, Emily Beecham, and Michael Kelly. Our story begins in the near future, where a drone pilot sent into the war zone finds himself paired with a top-secret android officer on a mission to stop a nuclear attack. The film is directed by Mikhail Hafstrom, the same director who directed the psychological horror film 1408, based off the Stephen King novel of the same name. I don't remember that film all that well, but what I can tell you is that the director really hasn't done anything else of note. The visuals are cool, I guess. The premise is at the very least interesting, but other than that, this feels like something I have seen before, or perhaps it isn't, and I just need to see it for myself. Regardless, however, the film releases on Netflix on January 15th. Anything else you want to say regarding this, Naka Krüz?
Not much. We've kind of seen these films before, and they're kind of hit or miss.
The plot too being like, well, is this guy good or evil? Like, questions about AI, whatever. Like, oh, what's gonna happen? Does look interesting as far as an action movie goes. I guess you could call it an action movie, or science fiction action. What do you want to call it? Yeah, hopefully this is an opportunity for this whatever director to break out, make a try my crack at Swedish pronunciation. Hufström. I think the A with the dot over it is like an O. Like Hufström. Whatever.
Scarfy, I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
Shut up. I don't want to hear
just scored again.
I don't care.
It happened again.
You obviously care. You obviously care.
Let's move on. We have coming attractions, and a lot of them, folks. I want to tell you, it's been a while since we've actually talked about these. We had to talk about other things. We had all these films coming out. We had we had the Disney showcase that we had to take a look at, where we talked about all these other sorts of things, and we just didn't have time. But now that we finally have the time, so let's start with our coming attractions. I'm actually kind of sad that you didn't put the coming attractions in the list.
Oh,
a little
shit,
bit. 'Cause
sorry.
I did have a slide. It's okay. It's okay.
Sorry.
It's fine.
I'll just leave it on. What do we?
I mean,
What slide do you need me to leave this on? Outside the wire? Or do you want us to just go back to our main screen?
I just go back to our main screen just to be a little bit more easy. It's perfectly fine though. It's
That's
not
my
a big
bad.
deal.
I'm sorry. It's been a couple weeks.
It is, but it's been a couple weeks, so why don't we go ahead and move on? Our very first coming attraction is the very excellent Mr. Dundee. A famous Australian actor is reluctantly thrust back into the spotlight as he desperately attempts to restore his solely reputation on the eve of being knighted. I've never seen Crocodile Dundee. So I wouldn't really know exactly what to say regarding this one. So
I saw. I think I saw like not the original, but something that was a sequel to it a long time ago. I can't really remember. I just remember that he had a son who was like, at one scene he like threw like there was a rat in his classroom and he just picks up rock and like throws it at it and the teacher's like screaming and he just holds up. It's like, don't worry, ma'am. I only stunned him. That's all I remember from it.
All right, we're gonna move on to our next coming attraction, French Exit. A widowed New York socialite and her aimless son move to Paris after she spends the last year of her husband's inheritance. I can see some actors like Lucas Hedges is in this film. I want to see where it leads to. Lucas Hedges.
Who?
Lucas Hedges. What are you talking about? Who? Okay, he was a guy who played in like
See, you don't know him either.
Yes, I do. He played in Wes Anderson films, and he was in The Grand Budapest Hotel, and he was in Moonrise Kingdom. He played in Lady Bird. He was the main character in Boy Erased, and now he's, in this film. Jesus Christ!
I
don't know.
I don't know. I vaguely recognize him. I must have seen the face before, but it's like I'm like, he looks kind of familiar, but I can't really place it. It's just that.
What do you think, Naka?
I mean, oh, look at me. We're going to flee to Paris and live a happy little life because my husband died, and we're going to honor him by spending all of his money.
Or spend it all on gambling. Fans will get that reference.
Let's move to our next trailer. Savage, inspired by the true stories of New Zealand street gangs across 30 years. We follow a man at 3 defining moments in his life as he grows from a boy into a violent enforcer of a gang. Yeah, this is interesting. I did not know that there were gang members in New Zealand. I mean, that's not to say they don't exist. That's not to say they don't exist. It's just like, it's interesting because it's because I guess our gangs are different here than they are in other places. So, just typical stuff. And it is what it is. It's just we have this, and this, and Naka Krüz, what do you think?
The last movie I saw from New Zealand was actually Deathgasm, just because I was like, this looks stupid and metal and awesome. It was about as much you expect. It's like this metal band that finds this piece of music, and the guy thinks it'll make a great song, but it ends up summoning demons that turn everyone's eyes into mouths and shit. And then they have to find this metal star who knows how to reverse it or whatever shit. Ridiculous. But this, I love also the costume design here and the tattoos and the jackets and everything. And based on true story, like how gangs worked. I mean, any place you go will have gangs. I mean, Japan literally had gang wars too.
Yakuza.
Yeah, I think I watched it on Simple History of their war, the clan war, gang war. This, whatever it is, there's going to be gangs and conflicts anywhere you go. Who controls what territory? But yeah.
I mean, Krüz just basically
nailed
the nail right on the nail right there.
I nailed the nail right on the nail.
It's the little things. Speaking of which,
yes, the little things. A burned out deputy sheriff with an eye for detail teams with a detective to reel in a wily serial killer. This is interesting, very, very interesting indeed. I am not too sure exactly what exactly with things going on. It's just it's one of those things where it's like, I really want to be able to like get through this and all this kind of stuff, and I don't really know what else to say. Krüz.
Same. It's just like, there's things going on here, but I don't know how to interpolate them into speaking words.
Yeah. How is Rami Malek and Denzel Washington going to deal with this? A good choice of actors, I'd say, at least. Beyond that, it's kind of like murder mystery thing, and sure, something that might interest me on a movie night, but not something I go out of my way for. I mean, that's just my personal interest.
At least there's not a murderous trance going on.
Murderous trance. All right. Murderous Trance, the most incredible series of hypnosis crimes in history, send an investigator and a hypnotist into a world of psychological manipulation. This looks actually pretty interesting. I kind of want to see where it goes. I don't know. Just one of those things where it's like,
Yes, interpolate.
I'm not just interpolating here. That was absolutely the moment I got started.
Robert, don't go.
Hey,
buddy.
Hey, man's got to go to bed.
A man's got to sleep.
You're going to try and drag it away from him? He wants to go sleep. People live in different time zones. How many times?
I know. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and move on to our...
Nobody wants to say, oh, no, stay, don't leave.
Nobody. A man is targeted by a ruthless drug lord after he helps a woman being harassed by a group of men.
Gross.
Yeah,
Gross.
Yeah.
I like that I faintly heard you, like, echo, and I don't know if it was stream audio or something. You're like, gross! Great. I don't know, this kind of, like, the trailer kicked into high gear, and I wasn't really expecting it.
Yeah, let's just go after somebody because they're trying to be a decent person and save a woman from harassment. That's a perfect idea to go after somebody. Totally.
Yeah, I think because it's like kind of it seems a little forced. It's a coincidence. It's like, oh, I was like ex special forces or something, and some people, I've made many enemies, and they found out who I was, so that's why I didn't get involved when they broke into my house. But I decided to do it on the bus. It's a little all over the place with that, but the action scenes look quite well done. Like the one shot where like it's the camera's tracking the gun, like landing in his hand. I thought that was really cool.
All right, well, we're gonna go ahead and move on to our next film, our next trailer, No Man's Land. When a vigilante border patrols turns fatal, a man flees on horseback to Mexico seeking forgiveness from the victim's father. I watched the trailer. I like what it has to offer. I like it. I want to see where it goes. I don't know about you guys, but it looks actually kind of interesting. Krüz?
I mean, maybe, but never stop one from getting sleep. Bad things can happen. My friend would know. Due to a lack of sleep, he once drove into a tree because he fell asleep at the wheel.
Damn.
Oh.
Yeah. So next time somebody says they're going to bed, you shut the fuck up and let them go to bed.
And also tell them not to drive.
All right.
Or at least not without a little bit of Red Bull.
I mean, which side of the border are we talking about here?
He says he lives in Texas. It does look interesting as a premise for being.
So there's
because he's stuck in Mexico as a fugitive, but he's like seeking forgiveness for because it was like an unfortunate accident, but he just lapsed in judgment, and then he has to find forgiveness, and they're both like both of them are trying to reconcile. The father and the other guy are trying to reconcile with the incident. Very interesting to see how that plays out.
Well, I mean,
so
we go to No Man's Land to
land.
Just land.
That's land.
There's life in the ocean.
What? Something's alive
in the ocean.
In the ocean. All right. Land.
The sun is a deadly laser.
A local hunter brings a grieving lawyer back from the brink of death after she retreats to the harsh wilderness of the Rockies. So I'm pretty sure there's something that I'm missing with this trailer. I took a look at it. I was like, why would you want to go to the Rockies and learn how to live in a place that's so desolate and wilderness?
Some people
But
just
maybe
wanna do
there's
that.
something. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's something that we're missing, but we just kind of have to wait and see where it goes with this. I don't know, like one of those. It's interesting to say the least. Krüz, what do you think?
I prefer to have that mindset of a trailer instead of telling people exactly what's going to happen in a movie. Like I've heard that's what happened in Soul.
Yes. Wait, did you see Soul?
I did not, but I read tweets. It's like, it's like everybody was surprised about this thing happening except my 5-year-old. It's like, yeah, I knew that was coming. How? It was in the trailer.
Yeah, there's making a trailer is, I think I've said this before, like kind of, it's hard to balance between what's will entice the viewer versus like what reveals too much. This one I think reveals just enough that it kind of it leaves you with these out of context scenes that make sense in the overall, like her chopping wood or like hiding from a bear. You understand that those things would happen out in that region, in the wilderness, like, but it doesn't say exactly what its impact was on the story. But it does look really quite good. Like two people who've lost a lot and they are helping each other out. I don't know how that will end up, but this is another one of the better looking trailers, I think.
Yes. So.
All right, I need to pivot back to No Man's Land for a second because the Cleveland Browns just scored again.
We're gonna be moving on.
Good.
We're gonna be moving on to Palmer. An ex-convict strikes up a friendship with a boy from a troubled home.
I mean, I
This
can
is
see it.
Look. This is a movie that stars Justin Timberlake. I really want to see it. It looks great. I don't know about you, but I actually kind of see what it has to say. But
the synopsis is and like kind of plot is a bit contrived, but I'm interested and want to see where it goes.
yeah, so typical stuff. So we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens. And yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. What were we gonna say?
You go ahead.
Were you gonna say anything?
I was going to say something about the next one, not this one.
All right, Krüz, what were we gonna say?
I saw, if you look at this one has an eyebrow raising number of dislikes. I'm not sure what about it, but
it's because it's a movie that doesn't really need to be remade. But money.
Oh, is it remade Palmer?
No, not Palmer.
Oh no.
Oh, I thought. Okay, well the there was no dislike bomb on Coming to America, but Palmer, I was like, it I'm not sure. Something about it just seems off. But
Well, moving
you
from
get-
Palmer, yeah.
Eddie Murphy and also Eddie Murphy.
Yes, we're moving to Coming to America, hence the word 2 in the title, because this is going to be the sequel to the first film, Coming to America, not with the number 2. So they had to make that distinction. An African prince returns to America to search for his long-lost son. I've never seen the first Coming to America. I heard it was
It's a great
decent
film.
flick. Is it? Wow, I've
Yeah.
never seen it.
It's a great comedy.
It seems like just from the trailer of this, it seems like, for what it's worth, a very Eddie Murphy style of comedy, just like back and forth, quick dialogue, and all these things with facial expressions and like the same actors playing different roles. I like that they kept doing that at the trailer. It's like, and Arsenio Hall, and Eddie Murphy, and this other guy, like. And James Earl Jones in it too. Respect to him. Darth Vader himself.
Yeah, because we need to make a sequel to a movie that originally was made in 1988, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say it.
30 years. That's a long time.
33. Yes, 33
Yes.
years. But don't just don't have high hopes, unfortunately, because I don't see this going over well. In fact, I think it's just going to...
It's going to...
Well, at least we got that out of the way. So we're gonna move on to our final piece of news, coming attraction, I guess you could say.
It's Bigly.
Yes,
this one.
Yes. This is Beastars season 2 opening. We actually took a look at this trailer. Krüz, what do you think? I actually really like the opening.
I like the music a little bit more than the last one. I did like the last song. I said this to Scarfy before. It's not a dislike of the other one, but I think this one's a little... I don't know, has a little bit nicer flow to it. The visual, like, representation of, like, what's going on. The plot... Not the plot, but, like, the overarching themes of, like, how Legoshi is dealing with his... I don't know, like... instinct and everything and all that with how to...
The art style kind of reminds me of Hanafuda cards. If you ever played Japanese Hanafuda, I'm pretty sure you know.
I haven't, but I've watched Gang Grumps did it on because Hanafuda's in the Clubhouse 51 thing.
Mm-hmm. Why didn't you just koi to help me stay in the game?
Koi, you puss! I love that.
You do realize that Koi is actually in Clubhouse 51, so
yeah, it's in the...
It's part of the Hanafuda game in Clubhouse 51.
I'm not sure exactly what the move is supposed to mean. Is like collect all your points, but it's like Koi, you bitch.
So,
I love that.
Anyway, but yeah, I personally really like the season 2 opening trailer of Beastars. Believe it or not, the Japanese dub, it is actually out already. I already saw the first episode. We're probably not going to get the English sub. We're not going to get the English version until June, July. I know it's such a long time. We have to wait for a while. I know. We have to wait a while.
Sorry about that. My dog was like, I must use the squeaky toy now.
Oh, the super loud one.
Yes.
I wonder if we can get Jonas Scott back on the show.
Good luck.
Maybe.
It'd be nice to talk.
He's pretty big since we last spoke with him.
He probably will be busy if he's not already working on the dub. I assume he's still the voice of Legoshi.
You know, I still want to be able to get Benjamin Diskin on our show. I know other furry. I know the Anthraholics were able to get him on. So maybe we can get you know, him on here. I would like that very much, but we just kind of have to wait and see what happens. But yeah, I'm happy that Beastars season 2 is opening. I'm reading the manga, so I kind of already know what to expect with this one. But you know, we're just gonna have to wait and see how they handle it. I really like the art style with this trailer. A lot of people say it's a downgrade. I personally think it's being judged in a different light, so I think we should take a look at it from that point of view. And that is it. That is our show for tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
We have one thing.
Yes, we're going to be doing this at the very end of every show from now on. For more entertainment news, please check out our Discord channel. We have a great community, and we have the power to have watch parties of films and games, and just be able to hang out. If you're interested, click on the link, introduce yourself, follow the rules, have fun. It is I'm really, really excited. I'm personally really excited. Are we moving to the next screen for a little bit? Because I had something that I really wanted to talk about. But
the visual screen, where we say that's it for our show.
Yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger just threw another pick.
Woo! You'll love to see it. You don't, but I do.
I have nothing else to say. I don't want to talk about football anymore.
I don't want to talk about it.
So, yeah, but please do check us out on Discord. We have plenty of people who are already there. Click on the link, introduce yourself, talk. It's a way to get things going. I know things kind of seem a little bit quiet right now because there's not really much to talk about, but at the same time, we could be a lot more active. We're trying to make it a lot more active. So please, by all means, take a look. Naka, Krüz, is there anything else that you want to say regarding this, or do you want to?
Yes, we can do more stuff on the Discord if you want to join. You don't have to join. It's just another place where you can have fun with us.
Mm-hmm. And who knows, if you do join, maybe we can actually, get people to, make the server big, and we can have, actual good watch parties where we can stream a lot of good quality content. We just have to,
Wasn't there something about like upgrading a server for Discord? Do you have to
you can upgrade if you can upgrade the server, an individual server for Discord to make it
server. Yes. I have switched to the headset mic one more time because Scarfy,
Let's do what I do when I have problems. Scream! Scream!
Yeah. Scream! Anyway, we're going to go ahead and before we end the show, there is something that I do want to talk to you guys about that is very, very important. So I don't know if this is happening because I kind of see if I want to know if scheduling is going to be happening. But on Thursday of next week, and this is a tentative date, I am going to be one of the first people receiving the COVID-19 vaccine. And how this is basically going to work is someone from CVS Pharmacy. I don't know if you have CVS, you probably do, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Someone from CVS Pharmacy visits our house. I know it sounds like we're living in the 1920s all over again, right? They come and visit our house and they administer the vaccine. I have to take the vaccine, and there may be a possible chance where I might be feeling a respiratory response. So we're just going to have to wait and see where it takes. I am hoping that I do not get sick for the next episode. But like I said, we're just gonna have to wait and see. I'm not scared. I know that this is something that I need to do because I need to get on with my life. I need to go visit people. And the best part about it is that once I get this, COVID test, I don't have to worry about people getting sick from me, and people don't have to, and I don't have to worry about getting people sick, and they don't have to worry about getting, and then other people don't have to worry about, getting sick from me. So it works that way. And, we're just going to have to wait and see. And I'm a little worried, but again, I'm going to try and be here for the show. I just need to make it very clear. If I might be feeling a little sick, it's because I just got the shot. Got the shot. I'm not going anywhere. I'm probably just going to get everything that I can done before I get the shot, take a shower, brush my teeth, do all that. Cause
drag a comb across my head.
I'm probably going to, wash my blankets too, because I might, if I'm going to be sick, I might as well be sleeping in clean blankets and pillows, because that's just the way logic works.
Liar.
I needed to make it so that everything is great. Well, the thing with that, Shutter, is that you get one shot, you wait a couple days, and then you get the second shot.
No, I believe it's supposed to be weeks.
Yeah, a couple weeks, and then you get the second shot, and then afterwards you get, it's not supposed to make it sick. It's not supposed to do anything anymore. You're completely vaccinated, so you get 2 shots.
Is the second a booster?
Yes, the second is basically the booster. So you have to get
booster
one.
Pack. Yeah, Rona be gone with booster pack included.
So anyway, we're gonna have to. That's really what I wanted to say. So, any thoughts on that, Krüz, about me getting the Rona shot?
Good luck.
Good luck. Thank you. Thanks, asshole.
Good.
But
I mean,
no, but really,
I'm not even trying to be like sarcastic or anything. Good luck, seriously.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, guys. Well, it's time to wrap it up. We've had an interesting show. It's a little bit of a shorter show this time around, but there really wasn't much to talk about. There really wasn't anything great of note that came out this week. It's been a really, really, I don't want to say quiet week, but at the same time, a little uninteresting, especially with, to be honest, the most interesting thing that happened this week was what happened at the Capitol. And I hate to say that because what happened at the Capitol was horrible. But what can I say?
The Browns are 28-0, and it's still the first quarter.
I would be rendered speechless too, because this is a kind of thing you don't see happening in a playoff game. This is
Are you guys just doing this just to spite me?
I'm happy for the Browns, man.
Whatever.
One, I'm happy for the Browns. Two, fuck the Steelers. I mean, you know what it is with our rivalry and all that. It's all in good.
I mean,
it's all full of love and hate.
I mean, Steelers fans right now are just.
Oh God, ew.
They were already wanting Randy Fiechner's head on a pike.
Anyway, this has been a very, very interesting day. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to the again.
Shutter
it's
is
time to wrap.
correct. You can still carry it, but it won't impact you. You can still spread. So even if you are vaccinated, you still got to be careful.
You can still carry. Yeah, that is.
Well, I mean, like here's the thing. I'm not gonna go. I'm still gonna wear my mask. I'm not that stupid, but you know, yeah. At least things have gotten taken care of. But anyway, you know, I look. I'm still trying to figure things out. Okay, I'm not a doctor. You know, I'm still trying to figure it all out. So, anyway, guys, that is it. That is our show for tonight, folks. We've been here for a little while longer, so we're gonna have to wrap it up. My name is Scarfy.
I'm Naka.
And I am Krüz.
And this has been Soba for Entertainment. Stay awesome, stay awesome, and stay safe out there. Have a good night, guys.
Take care of your loved ones, take care of yourself, and most importantly, have a good week. And we'll see you next Sunday.
Yes, yes, we will.
Divisional round time.
Woo! Okay, bye for real now.